kicks in, then they get to go and play with the big boys and girls. But it's all fun and games in here, and I think this is going to be a very hotly contested championship out there, Jordan.
Absolutely, and I just want to talk about something very, very important to me, and very important to what is Killarney, as there's someone on the grid that, I don't know how to put it, but he's racing one limb down. And that is our good friend Matthew Doiser, riding for Motorwise and David Entcott. And that man, after a very, very serious accident at the beginning of, I believe it was the beginning of 2023, when he started racing a ZX10 Masters for the Nationals. He had a very serious accident in turn number 2, went through plenty of recovery, unfortunately had to get his left leg amputated. But after quite some time development to his ZX10, he can now ride with one leg on the right-hand side and his prosthetic on the left. So he is on pole position to start this year off in the Clubman's Classics and Breakfast Run motorcycles. We wait for the lights. The lights are on, 5 red lights are out, and away we go, racing in the class. But we've got a staller on the grid as they get underway. Down towards Block Coin Corner we go.
Yep, I think they're going to need a bit of assistance. I think that might have been William Lowe a little bit further down. But either way, down into turn 1 for the first time of asking. And the number 20 gets the whole shot, absolutely off with it in that 1,000. But it's just a gaggle of bikes. You've got Augustin Ntwari behind him as well. William Morris also in the mix as they come through 3 as well. And again, this is what we saw in the first race with the 300s and 650s. It's just settling down. It's trying to stay out that first lap chaos.
Absolutely, and in a slightly bigger class, as the class numbers come up, and we've got 15 in this one specifically, there's a bigger bunch at the start of the race, always, and that is always where the chaos begins. But cleanly so far, however, not only cleanly, but look how close it is on this opening lap for the Clubman's Classics and Breakfast Run motorcycles, all on brand new, fresh Pirelli rubber for 2025 or 2026. Sorry, I'm still in last year. 2026, new tires, a new season, and many lap times to bring down. As into the final corner, there you see 5, 6, almost 10 bikes coming through at the same time. Out Cape Town corner they go, down the Porsche front straight under the City of Cape Town Bridge to start another lap, and right up against the wall for some of the riders in the mid-pack.
This is absolutely fantastic stuff then. So in the lead then it's Wayne Grease from Matthew Deuce in second position, William Morris in third position, and then you've got the first of the 600s, Jordan Simon in the 177 up in fourth position, Wesley Hendricks in fifth position, and then Malcolm Govinder in sixth as well. But as soon as you say that, it all changes, because such is that gaggle. You've got 8 bikes fighting for that lead, and we're only on lap 3.
Absolutely, and it'll keep chopping and changing as the laps carry on, as I can already see in the background, guys going left and right. There you can see on the screen, guys going side by side through the kink down into Dam Step. We've still got a 3-way bike battle at the front end of the grid. Look at that, 1, 2, and 3 as they exit down the Tigerberg straight towards Sarl Sweep. We'll see who all that involves. There's Gresse in there, Doiser and William Morris that are rushing through. They're sitting each other up on the seats, trying to get by, not getting too close to one another. You don't want to make contact at all. However, rubbing is racing, even when the elbows and the knees are out as they go down into Cape Town corner.
Yep, along the Killarney straight then, and it's very difficult to even see who's who at this point here. But look at this battle for second and third. They're tripping over each other now, and that's allowing Jordan Simon and Wesley Hendricks to catch right back up and get in the mix as well. It looks like Grace has got a little bit of daylight now. That looks like to be 0.8 of a second over second position. In fact, it's Juice that's gone back into the lead. Matthew Juice, excuse me, already back into the lead. And then you've got that tail graggle there. You've got Wayne Grease, you've got Wesley Hendricks in there. Shakir Brenner's now up there. Malcolm Govinder was down in 7th position. He's now up into 4th. Malcolm is up into, 5th. You've got Jordan Simon up into 6th position. It's all change every single lap here, Jordan.
Absolutely, and it'll keep chopping and changing as this whole gaggle just tries to introduce themselves to new track conditions for 2026. They are mighty fine close to each other, but Matthew Doiser currently leading out, a healthy lead, getting away from the struggle that was that front 3 battle. Now it's Kresse, from Hendricks, from Brenner, Govender, Simon, Morris, Ntwara, Adam and Lowe sitting in your top 10 at the moment. That's roughly who you can see in the picture, and just behind them as well, we've got Byron Arendse, Gerard Joubert, Quinton Retief, Henny Schalhasser, who Schalhasser was the one that stalled on the grid, and Willem Lowe unfortunately not making it out. So it will be Gavin Lowe that is sitting in that 10th spot as we go down into Cape Town corner once again. And then when they cross the line, we'll see what the chopping and changing has done to the order.
Unbelievable stuff as we come out of Cape Town corner. Here is your race leader. So the battle for first and second position is still on. Juice and Wayne Gracie here. But if that is Wesley Hendricks in that 600 in third position, you've got what looks like 8,000 1000s trying to get through on behind him here. It is just a traffic jam in Cape Town right now. It is indeed Juice setting the fastest lap of the race, 121.162. Wesley Hendricks in second position though with a 121.6. This is fantastic stuff, and then it is just all hell breaking loose as Wayne Grace drops down into that third position. Malcolm Govins are now up into P4 and Jordan Saman down into P5. But again, it's so difficult saying that because, as I said, you've got 7 bikes within 2 seconds of each other.
David, this is absolutely insane to start the day off, but it was still in the morning time as we go down. There is second place all the way down 3, 4, 5, all the way down to P12 we see there, that being Gerard Joubert in the breakfast run class as well. Sorry, I lie in Clubman 600s rather, on that 675 Daytona of his. As they all dive down into the double right-hander, they all are almost in sync going through turn number 4, Sorrel Sweep, on to the throttle, twist to the throttle, on the gas they go, trying to go side by side, down the Kalani back straight, almost making it 3 wide as they go to Cape Town corner. David, this is impeccable with 4 and a bit laps left to go.
You've got 9 riders within 3 seconds of each other here. This is unbelievable stuff. What this is doing though, this is allowing Matthew Juice and Wesley Hendricks to streak off into the sunset. They're now 5 seconds up the road here, and this is a proper fight now. Wesley Hendricks does the fastest lap of the race in P2. He's chasing down P1, but obviously we have to keep our attention on this incredible battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th position.
This is unbelievable. We see something new every day, and even though this is my second full year in commentary, it's still one of the sights that you see that you can't believe your eyes, and I'm not believing my eyes as they go down into Castro Corner from 3rd all the way down into 12th as they gaggle up. We jump back to the lead and look at this. It is Matthew Doiser and Wesley Hendricks, Motorwise and Motorwise together. In fact, both racing under the Motorwise banner. Wesley Hendricks on that beautiful 55 in tribute to his late friend Leighton Thomas, and he is riding definitely in spirit as the rest of the field now comes through. Is that a gap there to 3rd place? That we see that may just be Malcolm Govender that's sitting in 3rd place on his own. Then it is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th, all the way up to 12th in fact, as they get on the gas once again down the Kalani Straight, coming up on just over 3 laps to go.
This is absolutely fantastic stuff. There we go then. So that is Malcolm Govender in 3rd position ahead of Wayne Kress, and again you're just seeing all of these little battles going on around the outside at Cape Town corner. I think that might have been South Adam on Shakir Bremner for 7th position as well, although I think we're going to need a map and a compass just to figure out what on earth is going on in that gaggle. If they need to take a photo finish of that, Jordan, it's just going to be a blur of 8 bikes right now. But there is 2nd place. That is going to be Wesley Hendricks in the first of the 600s. In fact, no, it's a little bit further down actually. Sorry, that's Malcolm Govender in the 1000 in 3rd position in that number 6.
Absolutely, they're getting close and close as they continue on. Castro Corner they go. Here is the front 2. It's Doiser and it's Hendricks still leading on through Dam's Dip they go. We watch them as another one of the back markers makes their way past the commentary box. Wesley Hendricks waiting in anticipation to make a move with what is 2.5 laps left to go. Through Sorrel Sweep they go, down onto their right-hand side knees and down at the Kalani Straight, opening up to what is almost 270 kilometers an hour on both the 1000 and the 600, opening up their gaps, different racing lines into Cape Town corner before the rest of the gaggle in the background makes their way into frame.
We spoke about the recovery and resurgence of Matthew Doyce. We'll talk more about that because there's 3 laps left to go here, but honestly, what a return to form here, as again now we're starting to see a little bit of daylight here. Augustus and Twari heading off that lead group in 4th position now from Shakir Brenner, Saud Adam and Wayne Gressa in 7th position as well here. So you've also got Jordan Seaman in the mix as well. But there is your 3rd and 4th position, Malcolm Govender. And again, you start to think that it's the 1st and 2nd battle because they're very close, but they're 11 seconds up the lead, Jordan.
How is that for a lead group? Those two Cape Townians really pushing the pedal to the metal, so to speak, the pedal to the throttle, if you will, as here they come towards us. We saw Ntwara and Govender in that 3rd and 4th spot respectively, both up from Joburg coming down and now sitting in 3rd and 4th, just behind the Cape Townians. As down towards Sarl Soup they go. We're coming up on the final lap in just 2 corners from now, but we look back to Govender, who the last time he was down in Cape Town, he was the fastest Indian from Johannesburg. And now he said he's lost a little bit of pace, being off for quite some time, but he's back once again in that 3rd spot with Ntwara behind, Brenner 2.5 behind them. Then it's Adam, Simon, Gressa, Ardense and Morris that sits in that top 10 as the leaders come out of the final corner.
It's Kawasaki versus Kawasaki. It's a ZX10 versus a ZX6R. Wesley Hendricks on that 6R, and it's going to be Matthew Joyce on that modified ZX10 down into the final corner for the final lap then here of the Pirelli Clubman Classics and Breakfast Run Race 1 of the 2026 season. As we cut further down then, this is going to be Augustin Ntwari taking 3rd position then from Malcolm Govender on the start of the final lap. Then it's going to be Shakir Brenner in 5th position, Saud Adams in 6th, Jordan Seaman is in 7th, and Byron Arenze taking 8th position as well.
Yep, now we jump back to the leaders, and as we saw Ntwara go past Govender into turn number 1 on the final lap is where Wesley Hendricks wants to be as close to Matthew Doiser as possible. He's got 2.5, now 2 corners left to go, this including Sarl Sweep, and then it'll be on the gas once again for the longest straight, what I think is in the Western Cape here at Killarney International Raceway. Down they go, slipstream, all that he can, tuck as deep as he can behind the visor, and it's down to the final braking point at Cape Town Corner.
Here we go then, into Cape Town Corner. This is where Dousa should have the power in that ZX10, but again, straight back up comes the 600 then of Wesley Hendricks. It's the 55 versus the number 20. We've just got one more corner to go. I think, in my heart of hearts, I think Matthew Juice is going to do enough here, but they come under the bridge, and it's going to be Matthew Juice to win on his recovery ride. Wesley Hendricks takes 2nd place and the win in the 600 class as well. Augustin Ntwari is going to take 3rd position potentially from Malcolm Govender as they go across the line. It is Malcolm Govender who actually takes that. Augustin Ntwari in 4th, Shakir Brenner in 5th position, Saud Adams in 6th position, and then you've got Seaman in 7th position, Jordan, as they continue to come across the line here. That was absolutely spellbinding racing here. Roll on 2026 for this, because that was awesome.
Absolutely. We had Morris come through in the 9th spot. Then it was Gressa, Lowe, Shalhassa and Joubert that just came across the line now. And we're just waiting for the final man out on circuit, Quinton Retief. And how was that for a 2-wheeled race? I'm sure these guys are absolutely loving the Pirellis, which I'll speak a little bit later on during the Superbikes race, because that was incredible. As across the line now comes Quinton Retief on his first race meeting out from the track schools that he's been taking part in. And wow, not a single, I'm not going to even say anything, just a touch of the wood, and David, I've got no words.
I tell you what, I do not need to go down to the cafe downstairs to get a cup of coffee, because my heart rate is about 140 BPM right now. That was incredible stuff. And yet we have got a full day of this to come here. That was the Pirelli Clubman Classic and Breakfast Run motorcycles. Up next is going to be the Thermo Fire Clubmans and Saloons, as the riders taking their cool down lap in a very well-deserved wave to the marshals and to the crowd. You can absolutely take a bow for that one, because that was a fantastic race there. And unfortunately, this is kind of what you expect with this class here, and with bike racing in general. This is what they live for. As we go through to the replay, some of that earlier action, I've got to be honest, on lap 7, when we saw that pack of 8 bikes sort of whittle away there, Jordan, my heart sunk a little bit. I was devastated, but it was never going to last forever. But to be able to race at this pace in such close proximity with all of these other riders, it's immense trust, and it's immense trust in your other riders as well.
Absolutely, and I have to say, more than anything else, you have to give these riders, both in all the classes, the ladies and the gents, the biggest round of applause whenever they make their way by you. Give them a huge hug for the absolute performance that they put on, this fearless nature that all these riders have to do exactly what they've just done in front of everybody, not only at the track, but around the world.
Yeah, certainly do. And this is coming out of that final corner. I've got to be honest, I mean, that was so close for the majority of the final 5 laps there. I honestly thought Wesley Hendricks might have been able to make that happen. There's a replay of the start then, and that was our sole retiree from the race there.
So that is actually, in fact, Schalhasser, and he had stalled on the grid on the 97 on that CBR, and from then, being a half a lap down, he made his way back up, made 2 positions up, and was still just in that top 12 group that was fighting out from 3rd up until about 14th.